Welcome back to the Presence of Being podcast. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of our community. Thank you to everyone who's left a positive review and rated the podcast on Spotify or Apple. It means a lot to me and it helps get the message out. I'm sure you've heard this many times before if you have a favorite creator that you listen to. I don't like to ask for people to leave a review or to comment, but I do ask is that if you do like these recordings and you want me to make more of them, or you have anything specific that you want me to talk about, to DM me on Instagram and I will respond to all of the comments, all of the questions that you may have. And I also want to say thank you to anyone who got a Presence of Being hat. I'm definitely going to release more hats in the future and restock the one that I'm currently wearing because this one was very popular, and releasing more clothing, hoodies, tees. If you like representing that present lifestyle, you want to represent that present lifestyle, that's what I'm building with Presence of Being. So more clothing is definitely on the way. If you're interested in that, let me know. But that is definitely coming soon. These recordings, especially adding a visual to these recordings and like editing everything, takes a lot of time. It's not something that I have a skill in, I would say. I'm learning and I'm getting better, but be patient with me in terms of like the consistency of these episodes. I think I've been pretty consistent with it. I know I have, but just continuing to be consistent and continuing to be consistent with the visual. It's a lot easier to just hit record on my phone on voice notes and talk. It's a lot harder to actually have the visual and then edit the visual. But again, be patient with me because I'm trying my best and I've never done this before. I mean, I've done the visual a few times, but this is like all new to me. So just be patient with me. I'm also definitely going to need I'm just thinking about this on the spot. I'm going to need some sort of like hard drive or something to store all these videos because it takes up a lot of space on my computer and I do not have the space to store all of this on my computer. So I'm gonna need to get that soon. Anyways, in this video, I want to talk all things meditation. Meditation, how to meditate, what I do for meditation, my meditation practice is something that I get asked a lot about. I've said this many times in the past, but there's one habit that I've incorporated into my daily life, or in my life just consistently. It doesn't necessarily have to be daily, but if there's one habit that I've incorporated into my life that has made a positive effect, a positive difference on every single area, every single avenue, every single category of life, it would be practicing presence / meditation. I'm talking physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and every single category that you want to improve upon. Meditating has helped in all of those categories by far. Especially if you're like a beginner in all of this, you just got into self-development, like there's a lot of information out there and it's hard to figure out like what you should do, what you should incorporate, how much you should incorporate of something like a certain habit or certain skill. There's just a lot of information out there. So if I could recommend anything, one habit to especially a beginner, it would be meditate. If you could do one thing, it would be meditating. One thing to help you get on the right track when it comes to just like self-development generally, it would be meditation and learning how to practice presence and be more in the now. So like I said, this video, this recording, I want to go in depth on my meditation practice, how I view meditation, and everything about meditation. Becoming more magnetic, feeling more full, whole, complete, being more responsive, not reacting, being more focused. All of these things, just a few things that come from being present, having consistent meditation or presence practice in your life that you do somewhat consistently. And also just overall creativity and just alignment. You're gonna feel aligned. At least I know that when I meditate consistently, I feel connected and I feel on purpose and in alignment with what I'm supposed to be doing. And that is hard to put into words, but the feeling that you get when you're like proud of yourself and like happy in the things that you're doing and like you're just in alignment, it's hard to put into words, but if you experience that feeling, you know what I'm talking about. And at least for me, when I meditate consistently, I get that feeling. So just to get this off the bat right away, I don't think that there is a how-to when it comes to meditating. When people ask me, how do I meditate? I say sit still and do absolutely nothing. That's the only requirement, at least in my eyes, when it comes to meditating consistently. You should do whatever works best for you, whatever you feel more comfortable doing. Because like I said, in my eyes, there are no rules when it comes to meditating, except for being still. And having no rules and conditions when it comes to meditating, at least in my eyes, allows you to be creative and just figure out like what works best for you. And in a sense, that welcomes you to becoming more familiar with yourself, asking yourself certain questions like, do you meditate better or connect with yourself more when you listen to meditation music? If the answer is yes, then great. Then you should listen to some sort of meditation music while you meditate. Do you prefer just sitting in silence? Great. If that's the case, then sit in silence. If you like listening to nature or ocean sounds, do that. If you like sitting cross-legged, do that. If you like going for a walk and meditating, do that. And I'm going to get into all of these and my preferences, but figure out what works for you. And after you figure out what works for you, stick with it. And make no excuses because you think it's too complicated or because you think it takes too much time. Those are just all excuses. People think that there are certain rules and things that you need to do in order to be effective while meditating. I just don't think that's the case. As long as you are still mentally, you're good, at least in my eyes. You are the process. There is no process that you need to do in order to be effective at meditating, in order to experience the benefits from meditating consistently. And I'm going to emphasize this again because it's important. There are no rules. Don't think that there is, a certain thing that you need to do, a certain technique that you need to do in order to be effective while meditating. In my eyes, just be still. If you can be still physically, great. But most importantly, being still mentally and not attaching yourself to the thoughts that are inevitably going to come up. A lot of people think that meditating is trying not to think. Like the goal, the objective is trying not to think. There is no goal. You are the goal. You are the process. The goal is not thinking. It's just being still and not attaching yourself to your thoughts. So be still physically if you can, if you want to. In my eyes, when I'm still physically, it's a lot easier for my mind to be still. But if you like to go for a walk and meditate, do that as long as you are still mentally. And when I mean still mentally, I mean don't go down the rabbit hole of thought. So if you have a thought that comes, great, let it come and go as it pleases. You don't need to think about that thought. Fixate on that thought and then go down the rabbit hole of thought and just continue down that cycle, that train of thinking. Just like clouds in the sky, let them pass by. It's completely normal to have thoughts. Some days you're going to sit still and meditate and you're going to have no thoughts, and it's going to be a really cool feeling. You're just observing yourself. You're observing your consciousness, and it'll be really easy for you to meditate. Some days it's going to be hard for you to sit still and meditate, or just be present with yourself and meditate. And you're going to have a lot of thoughts, and you're going to be anxious, maybe. You're going to be thinking about the things that you have to do during the day. Maybe you're thinking about things that happen during the day if you're meditating at nighttime. It's going to be a lot harder for you some days, but some days it's going to be easy. You just have to go with the flow and remember that consistency is the most important thing. Try your best to enjoy and embrace it all, because as you intend to be present, as you make your intention to be present, you are going to become more present and be more effective at meditating and experiencing all the benefits that come from meditating. Now, I would like to say a lot of people focus so much on the benefits that they're going to get from meditating, and the second that they don't experience those benefits, they're like, screw this, I'm not doing it anymore, and they stop meditating. Don't focus on all the great things that are going to come into your life and all the great things that you're going to experience from meditating consistently. That's not what you should be focusing on. Remember, you are the process. Make the process the goal. Meditate to just be here now. Meditate to be present, and inevitably, as you are more consistent with it, all the benefits you'll just naturally experience them, and they'll come up organically. Now that we have that background introductory meditation opening, I guess you could say, this is what I personally do. And what I do is what I recommend for beginners as well, because it's very simple. It's not complicated at all. Try your best to sit still, find a comfortable position, take a few deep breaths, set a timer on your phone for literally however long you feel like, and don't move, and focus on your breathing. That's it. That's the only thing that I recommend. So find a comfortable place, set a timer on your phone for like 5 minutes. That's what I normally say to someone who's never meditated before. And try your best not to move. Focus on your breath. And if a thought comes, great. Like I said, let it come, let it go. Don't attach yourself to your thoughts. Just sit there. And when the timer goes off, you go on with the rest of your day. That's what I would recommend. If you can do this twice during the day, that would be great. So a total of 10 minutes throughout the day, that would be great. But even if you could do 5 minutes once a day, that's what I'd recommend. Setting a timer on your phone and just sitting in silence. And the reason why I think this is so beneficial is because it's a lot easier, at least in my opinion, to quiet the mind and let the mind be still when your body is still. If you're active, it's harder for your mind to be still, at least in my opinion and from my experience. Now, if you try doing this and for some reason you have some sort of difficulty doing this, that's normal. And I wouldn't stop doing this, or I wouldn't not do this meditation, I guess you could say, this very basic meditation, if it's not working within the first few days or the first week. Try it out for a week, at least like a week and a half ideally, before you are like, this isn't for me. Especially if you are a beginner, it's not going to be easy. It's just not. Sitting still and not doing anything, and just being, is not easy for a lot of people because we're so hardwired to be like go, 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 go. Especially in the self-development space, it's all about like reaching goals and pursuit and breaking through barriers and all this stuff, which is great. But taking time to be like just still and present, it's not going to be easy initially, but it will get easier as you are consistent with it. Just like anything, practice makes perfect. Some days before you set your timer, you may feel like you want to do a longer meditation. That's great. Do it for 10 minutes. Some days you may feel like you want to do it for a bit longer. 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. Just see how you feel, see how your body feels. Obviously, if you're doing this first thing in the morning and you have a lot on your schedule and you got to go and you got to do things, you got to go to work, whatever it is, 5 minutes, it's really not a lot of time. And if you could do it again at night, it's only going to you're only going to feel better, and it's only going to help you more. If for some reason this specific type of meditation, just setting a timer on your phone and just trying to be still, isn't for you, maybe you are someone who likes guided meditations. If that's the case, there are a number of meditation apps that you can download that have a few free guided meditations. If you're into that, you can search beginner guided meditation on YouTube also, if you're interested in that. But if you're getting started, don't hop into like an hour meditation. Don't hop into like a 30-minute meditation. 5 to 10 minutes. It's probably going to feel a lot longer than 5 to 10 minutes when you're actually in the meditation. But again, if you're thinking about how long you're in this meditation while you're meditating, which is normal, try not to. Just let it go, let the thought go. You're going to have a new thought, and it's going to replace the old thought. And it's just about not attaching yourself and identifying with the thoughts that you have. It sounds easy, but when you're in it, you're going to notice what I'm talking about. It's just about being still. Try not to attach yourself with your thoughts. There's plenty of guided meditations out there which will help you with this, but again, do what feels natural to you. Do what works for you. Another meditation that I do like a lot is like a body awareness meditation. So you can, again, just be still and focus your energy and attention on a specific area of your body, and then move your awareness onto another area of your body. So you could start with your feet and then go up to your legs, then go up to your core, your stomach, then move up to your chest and then your shoulders maybe. And just as you just put your awareness in different areas of your body, you could do that. And another one I like is what I call object awareness, an object awareness meditation. And essentially within object awareness meditation, you can focus your energy and attention on a specific object in your environment. So let's say you're meditating near a window, for example. You can focus all of your energy and attention on, let's say, a tree. and you just meditate, you just sit still, and you just focus your energy and attention on your tree. And you're not labeling the tree, you're not judging anything that's going on, you're just focusing, being present just on a specific object that you're looking at. These are just a few meditations that I do personally, but the majority of the time, like I would say 96% of the time, I just do the timer. Just set a timer on my phone, boom, sit still, and just get quiet. It's very simple, it's very easy. And you're just still. You just practice being still. That's it. Eyes closed, eyes open, doesn't really matter. I like to do my eyes closed. I just focus on my breath. I get still, I focus on my breath. When the thoughts come, again, you just let them go. You don't attach yourself to them. If a thought comes and you feel like your mind is racing, deep breath, exhale, and then hopefully you'll just get calmer and it'll be easier for you to handle those thoughts. Day 1, it's not going to be easy, I promise you. Day 2, it's still not going to be easy. But after you do this consistently, after a week and a half, after 2 weeks, it'll be a part of your routine, and it's just something that you do, and it'll get a lot easier. And I'm telling you, if you don't focus so heavily on what you are going to get from doing this, if you don't focus so heavily on all the benefits and you just do it, you're just in the moment with it, that's when you're going to notice the benefits, and it's going to feel natural. It's just going to be like a part of you and how you carry yourself and how you operate. You're just going to notice, wow, I'm a lot less reactive. I'm more responsive. I'm more focused in the work that I do. I feel like I articulate myself better. All of these benefits, you're just going to notice naturally from doing this consistently. In addition to meditating and having an actual meditation practice that you do in your life consistently, blocking out a certain amount of time that you can meditate, it's important to be still throughout the course of your day. And a practice that I do consistently is setting reminders to go off on my phone at random parts throughout the day that basically just serve as reminders for me to be present. So I'll get a reminder randomly throughout the day that says like, be present or be here now. And when I get those reminders, I just look at my phone, I see it dings, it goes off, it says be here now. And it's just a reminder to take a deep breath and just focus your energy and attention on the now and just be in the moment. And the reason I think this is so powerful is because, yes, it's great to meditate and block off time to meditate, but as you're going throughout the day and as you're interacting with other people, you're working, there's stress, you got to deal with just life in general. It's not easy to be in the moment and be present while doing all of those things and just living. So having those reminders on your phone, it just serves as a reminder for you to be present, for you to be still, for you to take a deep breath and just be in the now and kind of just calm yourself, especially if things are going on around you and you're just stressed. Like, those reminders are powerful. You look down at them, you see it, you take a deep breath, and then you just realize that like you're good. So you can set a reminder to go off every hour. You can set one to go off every 3-4 hours. It's so totally dependent on you and your schedule and what you're up to, but definitely have at least, 3 or 4 of them that go off throughout the course of the day. In addition to, blocking off time, like I said, to actually sit and meditate or have some sort of meditation practice. It's only going to help you be more present, and it's going to help, just period. It's going to elevate you. It's going to elevate your level of energy. And like I said, you're going to notice the benefits. Don't make your focus so heavily on what you're going to get out of it and the outcome, but just, I'm telling you, it's going to help. Try it out yourself and you will experience all the things that I'm saying. And I'm not perfect with this at all. I slip up. There's some days I don't meditate and I notice it and I'm like, damn, like I got to start meditating again. And especially when things get stressful and you're dealing with a lot of stuff going on in your environment, whatever the case is, life generally, you're like, wow, like I haven't meditated in a while and I feel it. I'm not as present. And then you get consistent again with your meditation, you get back to you return back to yourself, and it feels good. So, like I said, I'm not perfect at this at all. I slip up at this all the time, but it's just about trying to be consistent, putting your best foot forward, and implementing presence in whatever way that you possibly can. If you can block out 5 minutes every day and meditate, great. If you can block out 2 minutes, like that will help if you do it consistently. If you can set these reminders on your phone, it will help. The process of meditation is not about doing. Meditation isn't about doing anything. It's about not doing. It's more natural than breathing. It's literally more natural than anything you can do. You're just tuning into the awareness that is you, and you're just getting out of your own way. There's nothing complex or special that you need to do to get into a meditative state, except take a few deep breaths and just be still. I'm telling you, a lot of people who listen to this are going to be like, it's too hard for me. I don't want to do it. And even spending 5 minutes alone in presence, in silence, in stillness can be overwhelming for a lot of people. I promise you, it's not hard. It may be hard initially, but once you do it consistently, it's going to be normal. It's going to make you feel relaxed, and you're not going to have any stress around it. It's not going to be a chore. It's not going to be a burden. It's just something that you do and something that you look forward to doing. It just takes time to get yourself to a point where you do look forward to it, and it's just part of your routine. Just like anything else though, practice makes perfect. There's one question or one comment or something that I read a long time ago, it was like a year ago I think at this point, that really resonated with me when it comes to meditating. And it was like, instead of asking, what do I need to do to start meditating, or how do I meditate effectively, or how do I meditate and experience all the benefits that comes with meditating, start asking yourself, what can I start doing to return back to my natural, conscious, mindful, and aware state of being? There's absolutely nothing to learn when it comes to meditating. It's already within you. All you have to do is just be. Focus on being. It's already all within you. You are the process. Focus on being. That's it. If you are someone who has never meditated before, like I said, the easiest thing for me, set a 5-minute timer on your phone, sit still, and do nothing. If you can't do nothing, if you can't sit still and do nothing, how do you expect to be effective at doing anything? If you are an experienced meditator, you know what it's like when you are a beginner. It's not easy, always, all the time. But if you're someone who's been meditating consistently, you probably look forward to doing it. You probably couldn't even imagine not doing it consistently because it's just part of your routine. If you have a routine that you like and a certain meditation that you do, that you enjoy, let me know what it is, first of all, and keep on doing it. And also explore new meditations if you're interested in doing that. You don't need to, but maybe you'll find something out there that you enjoy doing more. When I first got into meditation, I really like listening to like 528 hertz music on YouTube, and I just sit there and listen to that and meditate. And then I started not listening to anything, and I was like, wow, this is nice too. And now I do both, and it's just, you just figure out what works for you. Like I said at the beginning of this video, having no rules, at least in my eyes, except being still mentally, allows you to be creative and connect more with what works for you and what resonates with you. So something that I wrote down here is, there is no need to identify and attach yourself to thoughts. When thoughts happen, watch them and let them go. Take a deep breath and notice how they disappear. Then there might be just stillness for a few moments until another thought appears. That is great. Enjoy the stillness. Enjoy the spaciousness. That spaciousness is who you really are. The awareness that is you. The more that you meditate, the bigger the gaps between thoughts get. The more you meditate, the more you are able to tap into that spaciousness as you go about the day, while interacting with others and doing everyday tasks. This is when you really experience the benefits. Be patient with yourself, enjoy the process. Start off with a 5-minute timer and see how it goes. You are the process. That's it. Don't focus on the benefits. Focus on wherever you are right now. If you've never meditated before, sit down, set a 5-minute timer, and see what comes up. See what happens. Focus on the first step that you need to take. And like I said also at the beginning, you aren't expected to have zero thoughts. If anyone says, oh, like, you're not going to have any thoughts when you meditate, or try your best not to think, like, that's not how I at least think about it. It would be ridiculous for you not to think. Humans have like 60,000 thoughts a day, some of which are going to happen in meditation. It's just normal. It's fine. Don't stress about it. With this being said, remember, don't go down the rabbit hole of thought. Let thoughts pass by like clouds in the sky. If you are into listening to meditation music while meditating, I have an 8-minute meditation that you can find on my channel. It's called Meditate with Me for 8 minutes or something like that. So you may enjoy that, but there's tons you can find on YouTube or Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever like you listen to your music. You'll be able to find guided meditations there as well. Or if you just want to sit in stillness, do that. If you want to go for a walk, you can walk and meditate. As long as you're still mentally, obviously be aware of everything that's going on around you, be safe, don't be silly, but you could look around and be present and be safe and just not label things in your environment. To me, that's a meditation. Take time and explore what connects with you, what resonates with you, what feels natural to you. But again, don't judge it after the first time you do it or after the second time you do it. Take a few days, take a week, take 2 weeks to see if you really like it or not. So this video is kind of like a meditation 101 video, I guess you could say, more aimed towards beginner meditators or someone who's never meditated before. After listening to this video, what I recommend is setting a 5-minute timer on your phone, sitting still and not doing anything until that timer goes off, and see what happens. That's it. That's all I would recommend. If you are someone who's meditated before consistently, if you would consider yourself an experienced meditator, if anyone comments on this video who's never meditated before and has a question, share your thoughts and opinions with the community. And also, I'd just be interested to know what kind of meditations you do and what you resonate with if you're someone who has meditated consistently or would consider yourself an experienced meditator. Personally, for me, I've only been meditating consistently for like 2.5, 3 years, I guess you could say. It's really not that long if you think about it. And also there are weeks that I don't go without meditating, and then I'm like, I gotta meditate. And then I do it and I realize how much better I feel and how life just changes in the positive direction when you practice presence and meditate consistently. Now, I will say, if I don't meditate for a long period of time, I'm still doing presence practices in my life. I'm still setting those reminders. I'm still reminding myself to be present throughout the day. I'm still present. But meditation, I'm telling you, if you can spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, obviously the more the better. I'm not going to say meditate for like 7 hours a day. If you can, that's cool. I would be very interested in having a conversation with you. But 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, like for a majority of people, that, and if you do it consistently, like I said, that's the biggest thing. If you do it consistently, you're going to notice the positive shifts that happen in your life, and it's going to affect every single area, every single category of life that you want to improve. It's just going to accelerate those areas. But yeah, like I said, the weeks or whatever that I don't meditate, I'm still incorporating presence into my life. But the times that I'm consistent, the stretches in which I feel like I'm my best, is when I am meditating consistently. So I highly recommend it. This video, like I said, is more of like an introductory video into meditation. If you want me to talk about this more in depth, there are more practices that I do, I'd be more than happy to talk about it. But the actionable piece of advice that I would say from like after listening to this is set a 5-minute timer on your phone, sit still, and don't do anything until that timer is done. Thank you again for being a part of our community. Thank you again for just listening and being here. It truly means the world to me. If you have any recommendations for things you want me to talk about, I'm more than happy to chat. You can message me on Instagram at Presence of Being, join the community over there, and I will see you in the next recording.